Hey, pause on to the pack. It is Pack here,
aka your mama's best friend.
So NBA 2K21 has released the NBA draft roster. As you probably know, the NBA draft was yesterday, and they have updated it and added all the rookies and the trades that have been happening for the past couple days into the game, and I'm excited to talk about every team and their change right now. Hey, before this video starts though, be an OG, join the pack, and subscribe. Let's get to 300,000 subscribers. And we always start with the Philadelphia 76ers. Now with Doc Rivers as their coach, you needed to get Seth Curry because, you know, that's a thing. And then Danny Green is also now on the team, even though he was cheeks last year. He might help the team out a lot more this year. And then they also get Tyrese Maxey. So this team is looking pretty good, and Terrence Ferguson. So they're adding some pieces to maybe help their problems like shooting, which is why they got, you know, Seth Curry and Danny Green, but we'll see if that actually works or not. The Milwaukee Bucks, they have Drew Holiday, which is a great pickup for them, and they were supposed to have Bogdanovich, but they don't. And so now it's like, what are you gonna do? They lost a pretty important piece to this build that they've made for this team, and now it's kind of just like, what are you going to do? And they drafted Jordan Nwora for the Chicago Bulls. Well, first it was talks that they were going to trade Wendell Carter Jr., but another thing is that they have Patrick Williams. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't know Patrick Williams that much when he was drafted. It was a pretty big surprise that the Bulls drafted him, but who knows, maybe they see something that we don't, and maybe he's really good. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, they add Isaac Okoro, and they only give him a 75 overall rating, which is kind of low in my opinion. That's just how I feel about it, but still, I think he's pretty good, and hopefully he does really good with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now for the Boston Celtics, they do end up drafting Aaron Naismith, who is a sniper, which is awesome. Adding bench depth and people that can shoot off the bench is key for the Celtics. That's really all they're really missing, and so that's perfect for them and a great pickup for them for sure. For the LA Clippers, first off, they get Luke Kennard in a trade, which is huge because Luke Kennard, if y'all don't remember, was averaging 16 a game, and for like a couple months was averaging 20. He's a very good NBA player, and I think that's an amazing pickup. Like, they somehow got even better. I mean, I know that they lost last year, but as long as they can play together well, this is a huge pickup for them, like for real. For the Grizzlies, they get Jonte Porter and Xavier Tillman on the draft, from my understanding, and that's it. For the Atlanta Hawks, now you draft Onyeka Okongwu, who's apparently going to be a power forward, which makes about sense when he's 6'9". You have Clint Capella, John Collins. I'm guessing Onyeka is going to be coming off the bench, or they're going to try to make John a small forward. I don't know what exactly they're going to do, but we shall see what they end up trying to do with Onyeka in time. But great pickup for them. He's good. For the Miami Heat, now you have Precious on the team. I mean, this team is already ridiculously good and deep, and now you're adding another great pick. That's great for them. The Charlotte Hornets get the third pick in the draft with LaMelo Ball. Did I wish he went to the Knicks? Of course, but to be fair, he's on a team that have the cleanest jerseys. So this is, I think, going to be a good place for him. It's weird because they already have 2 point guards. So who knows what they're going to do. Jordan was saying that you don't have to make him a point guard. You can make him a small forward. They can run point technically. I don't know what the game plan is. I mean, they should probably trade one of these. I suggest you trade Terry Rozier, but who knows? We'll see what the game plan is for LaMelo Ball in time. For the Utah Jazz, I believe they got Udoka and Azubuike, and that's really it. For the Sacramento Kings, they actually get a really good pick with Tyrese Halliburton. That's a great pickup for them. Even though they have De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese is a very, very good point guard that's going to be great off the bench, and in time could become a serious star, in my opinion. For the New York Knicks, you have no clue how happy it was that they got Obi Toppin. People can talk all the mess they want about how bad Obi Toppin is at defense. You just give him time. He is clearly a great offensive player, and the Knicks could use good anything right now. And if you're a good offensive player, they could use you. And I know that people are joking that he's a power forward, but he's probably going to play small forward. I don't see why they would put him at power forward when you already have Julius Randle, Taj Gibson, Bobby Portis. Yeah, they're definitely going to make him, I think, a small forward. For the Los Angeles Lakers, as you already know, Dennis Schroeder is on the team. That's the only change for them right now. For the Orlando Magic, they pick up a great pick with Cole Anthony because he is raw. He's a great scorer as well, and I think he's going to help this team out a lot too. For the Dallas Mavericks, they trade for Josh Richardson, which is low-key nice, even though he struggled last year with the Sixers. With the Heat the year before, he was averaging 17 on okay efficiency, but he's a shooter. They could use somebody like him. I think him and Tim Hardaway Jr. are going to complement each other well as well, so who knows how this is going to work. I think it's going to work pretty well, though, I think. For the Brooklyn Nets, now you have Bruce Brown, Landry Shamet is someone they got off a trade, and he is a huge pickup for this team that's already crazy with talent, and they just got even more. For the Denver Nuggets, now you have RJ Hampton. I don't know why we let the Nuggets do this every single year. We let them get the steal of the draft every single time with Bol, with, for example, Michael Porter Jr. Like, they do this all the time, and now they get freaking RJ Hampton, which I wish the Knicks had drafted him too, but oh well. For the Pacers, Cassius Stanley, and that's really it. For the Pelicans, if you didn't already know, Eric Bledsoe is now on the team, so that's going to be an interesting fit. I mean, they literally just flipped him and Drew Holiday, which will be interesting. They also have George Hill as well, so they have 3 point guards, and on top of that, they got Kira Lewis Jr. So a lot of point guards. And Frank Jackson. Yeah, I think Lonzo might be out of there if we're just being honest. For the Pistons, they have Killian Hayes, which is a good pickup for them. He's a good point guard, and they need a lot because they've lost a lot, and this team is all over the place, and who knows if Christian Wood's even going to stay. This team might actually be one of the worst teams in the NBA next season. Maybe. The Toronto Raptors get Malachi Flynn and Jalen Harris, and that's the only changes they made for this team at all. For the Houston Rockets, honestly, so far, these two are still on the team, but that's not going to last long. And they have David Nwaba now, and Kenyon Martin Jr., who is Kmart's son, and that's it. For my Spurs, okay, Devin Vassell, I don't care about anybody saying anything about how this is a bad pick. He is a small forward. He's a great defender. He can shoot threes. This is all things the Spurs need. And this is an amazing pickup for the Spurs, 100%. And they also got Trey Jones, who's an amazing defensive point guard. So another person, which that's exciting. The Suns now have Chris Paul, as probably you already knew. And they have Jalen Smith. They don't have his goggles, though. It's kind of sad. But still, they have Jalen Smith as well. The Thunder now have Kelly Oubre, as you know. They have Al Horford now, which is interesting. They drafted Alexij. I'm just going to say that's his name. They drafted him, and he's pretty good. He's very tall and lanky, but he can score, so who knows. The Timberwolves, with the #1 pick, get Anthony Edwards, and I mean, can you blame them? Anthony Edwards is pretty good, even though he says he hates basketball apparently, or doesn't like it. It doesn't matter. He's so good you pick him anyways. And they have Ricky Rubio back in Minnesota, so that's also interesting to see that. So I don't know how they're going to make this work, but they'll make it work. For the Trailblazers, now they have Robert Covington, which is a perfect situation for them because they need somebody exactly like him. The Golden State Warriors are so good, even though Klay Thompson might be injured, which is like breaking my heart. Even if that's the case, you still have James Wiseman, who probably should have been the first pick of the draft, but because he's a center now, you have to make him the second pick. No one's going to pick him first. But he's so good that, like, you can't get mad at this pick. He's so good. And finally, the Washington Wizards now pick up Denny Avdija. He could be as good as Luka. He could be like Mario Hezonja. We don't know how good he's going to be. It's always up in the air with these European guys, but who knows? I mean, this team can use all the help they can get, because if John Wall can come back even semi-decent, if Davis Bertans can be as good as he was last year, and if Rui gets a step up from last year, and then Denny ends up being pretty good, this team could be pretty solid. Who knows? Okay, that is the roster update. Which is your favorite team now? What's the biggest changes that you liked? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like this channel, give it a sub. And I'll see you guys next time.